All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as y'all can see, we have our agenda. Everybody just take a moment and check out our agenda for tonight. I'm going to stick as closely as we can. I'm looking around to see the different nonprofits, so we may have to switch up the order a little bit, but we will roll with it. But again, I want to say good evening and welcome to our sixth Youth Leadership Forum. If this is your first time with us, these forums, they are opportunities for our youth and families to learn about the aspects that make Anson County, Anson County. The forums are also a leadership opportunity for the youth, as these events are co-hosted by the youth. And, we will introduce these youth a little bit later. All right. And so our very first leadership, we'll do a quick recap. And Charisma, I saw your message, but I can't get to it fast enough. It's fine. We'll make it work. But we have been able to cover a few different topics. The very first leadership forum focused on just some community leaders. That was the initial forum that kind of kicked things off, and it was a good forum that we got a lot of good information from our leaders. Our second youth leadership forum focused on our local government, and so we had the opportunity to have, at the time, our interim county manager, Raymond Allen, and our chairperson for the commissioners, Mr. Commissioner Woodburn. These two were able to come in and talk with our youth and answer some questions. The third youth leadership forum focused on the county-wide zoning. Now, this forum was very interesting because we were able to pull in Mr. Williams, who is actually working with Anson County he's working with Anson County government to come up with a zoning ordinance. And so that was a very enlightening forum to be a part of. The kids had great questions, and I think they got pretty good answers. Our fourth leadership forum was focusing on small businesses. And so we had Shelby with the chamber. She came in and she gave some incredible insight on just the purpose of small businesses and how they fit into the larger community. She also gave some great advice to the youth, because we had about 6 small businesses from Anson County, and then we also had 3 youth entrepreneurs who have their own business, and she was able to give them some great advice along with the youth co-host. So that was our fourth. Our fifth leadership forum focused on honoring Dr. King with his I Have a Dream speech. We examined the different parts of that. We had some very good insight from Reverend Heather McIntyre as well as Mr. Leon Gatewood. They came in and gave some really good advice and some insight on the different parts of Martin Luther King's dream and the parts that we're living out and the parts that we maybe need to work on. So that was another good leadership forum, which leads up to today. Our forum today focuses on nonprofit organizations. And so we actually met last Wednesday, myself and a handful of kids who are on tonight who will be helping to co-host. And the topic of discussion was, what is a nonprofit organization? And so we'll give a quick background, a rundown of what a nonprofit is. So a nonprofit organization is a legal entity that exists for some defined purpose, which does not seek to make a profit. A nonprofit organization is typically an organization that wants to make money to help further a social cause or provide a public benefit. And so we kind of expounded on that just a little bit, the social causes and the public benefits and those things and how they impact the county. And so we work with the kids, the last part. Of course, nonprofits are generally recognized as your charities, your churches, and your social advocacy groups. And so after we kind of went through the background information, we talked about some well-known nonprofits, and these are more nationally known nonprofits like the Salvation Army. Around Christmas time, we all see Santa Claus with the bell. Red Cross, American Red Cross, YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, and United Way. These are just a few. but again, recognizable nonprofits. And then we talked about some nonprofits local to Anson County. So again, this is not an extensive list, but we did pick out a few that we were familiar with, and we kind of talked about those, and we explained why they were nonprofits. And so, as you can see, we have the New Rural Project, Holla, the Partnership for Children, the Caraway Foundation, Feed My Lambs, Anson, and the Anson Crisis Ministry, just to name a few. Again, this is not an extensive list, but these were they filled up the page. We ran out of room. So, all right. So, moving forward, I want to introduce our panelists, and I'm not seeing everybody, all the panelists. So I will roll with who we have that I see. I see Bam Bam. The first up, representing the Partnership of Children, we have Miss Tracy Harrington. Thank you for joining us on tonight. I do not see Miss Caraway. She may pop in, but she is our second nonprofit we will be discussing and talking with. I also do not see the Feed My Lambs Ministry nonprofit, but again, if she pops on, we will move forward with that conversation. The new rural project, I know she's going to be on a little bit later. I know she had a prior engagement, but we look forward to hearing from her. And last but not least, our very own Anson County 4-H You Promise, who is housed in the extension office with myself. So again, thank you to these nonprofits and y'all taking y'all's time out to speak with us and the children, our youth, on tonight. Next up, we will introduce our youth host. So first up, we have Mr. David Bennett representing Anson County 4-H. Wave your hand one time, David. Next up, we have Andrew Martin, and I think Andrew and Zoe may be having some technical difficulty with their cameras, but it's okay. As long as we can hear them, we'll be fine. And Andrew is also representing Anson County 4-H. And then we have Zoe Martin, also representing Anson County 4-H. And last but not least, we have Ms. Jazari Underwood. I believe she will be on. We will try to flex the order just to kind of give people enough time to get on. But she will be also representing the Caraway Foundation. All right. Andrew, Zoe, David, y'all ready? Y'all are my co-hosts. I want y'all to really give it up, in your Zoom, give them a nice round of applause, because these young people continue to step up and to fulfill these leadership roles with these forums. They help me to co-host, and they ask all these great questions. And so we will start with, David, so we won't start with David. So we'll start with Zoe and the Partnership for Children. So again, we have Miss Tracy. Let's see if we can spotlight you real quick. So we have Miss Tracy with the partnership, and Zoe will be your interviewee for tonight. So Zoe, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, take it away. The floor is yours.
My name is Zoe Martin. I'm with Anson County 4-H. And my first question is, what does your organization do for the community?
Our organization, the Anson County Partnership for Children, we help with getting children in high quality child care centers. We also support family with needs such as like car seat checks, diapers, and any other baby stuff that we might have. We also provide technical assistance to all child care centers in Anson. And we also help families enroll their children in our NC Pre-K program, and we provide books for any community events.
Okay. My second question is, what types of services do you provide?
The types of service that the Anson County Partnership for Children provide is our Early Childhood Resource Center, our Proud Parent Program, North Carolina Pre-K, Safe Kids Anson, Mother Read, Teacher Read, and Father Read, Dolly Parton Imagination Library, the Diaper Bank, Storytime Weekly, Reach Out and Read, Raising a Reader, and our child care services. And we also do a service called Healthy Together 5210.
Thank you. My third question is, what does a normal day at your organization look like?
A normal day at the partnership may consist of installing or checking car seats, even if it's raining, moving items, unloading diapers, helping families with their needs, and going out taking materials to our different child care providers. Story time may be in session when you come, so it's not really a normal day at the partnership because each day can be different.
Thank you. My fourth question is, what are your hours of operation?
Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. We go to lunch from 12 to 1 every day.
Thank you. My fifth question is, why did you get involved with nonprofit work?
Oh, well, for me, I was looking for another job and I started volunteering with the partnership, and I really enjoyed the environment and all the things that the partnership was doing for our community. So a job came available while I was volunteering and I applied, and that's how I got involved with this nonprofit organization that I'm with now.
Thank you. My third question is, sixth question is, what is your favorite part of your work?
Oh, my favorite part of my work is that we can help the community with no hassle. If a family comes in and they need anything, and if we have the resources, we can just go ahead on and give it to them. They don't have to go out and make try to find stuff to. We don't ask them for much. They just like maybe their name and that's it. And we meet them right where they are. If they need something and we got it, we can give it to them. And that's what I really like about my job, because if we can help them, we do, and they don't have to it's just not a hassle for them to get help from us. And that's what I like about it.
Thank you. My seventh question is, as a youth, what can I do to help or support your organization?
Ooh. We are always looking for volunteers for our community events, such as the Week of the Young Child, our story times, our winter literacy events, Born Blast, play days, Safe Kids. With us being a nonprofit, we value our volunteers. So anytime you can volunteer with us, we will be glad to have you.
Thank you. My final question is, if you can answer, how long has your organization been around?
We have been incorporated in North Carolina since 1995. The first executive director was hired in 1997. So we have been in business over 25 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you, Zoe, for those questions, and thank you, Tracy, for answering. If nothing else, right? If nothing else, if you want to have a job, there's a potential to work for a nonprofit and to also have a positive impact in your community. So that's sort of a win-win for Tracy. She got a job and she's doing good things in the community. So again, that's another plus side of working with nonprofits. So y'all take notes of that for those who may be planning to who would potentially like to work with a nonprofit one day. All right, thank you again. All right, next up, we're going to switch the order around just a little bit. But David, could you be our next co-host, and let's see if we can use 4HU Promise. So we have a team of which it consists of Miss Raven Spencer and Mr. Jason Barino. And again, they're at their house here at the extension office with myself, and so we work together. And I'm so glad that they are able to be on tonight, because I feel like a lot of people may not know about some of their services and the things they do in the community. So, David, are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is David Bennett, and I am with Anson County 4-H. And my first question is, what does your organization do for the community?
You want to answer, Ray, or you want me to go?
You can, Jason.
I can go. Well, good question, David. We work with the adjudicated youth of Anson County. So basically, kids that unfortunately have to go through the court system, and then they come to us if they have community service and restitution. But we also have an after-school program, and then we also have a family program called Anson Connecting Families.
Okay. My second question is, what types of service do you provide?
Well, we have three different components in our program. We have a community service restitution, where youth who have community service, they come and do work in the community to work off hours. Then also the second piece is an after school program where we use an evidence-based curriculum to teach kids about drug and alcohol abuse, um, healthy eating, stuff like that. And then the third component of our program is Anson Connecting Families, which is in the title. It says family, so it's your entire family, and we're going over different skills such as communication skills. We have a family style dinner. We do a lot of different things with the family in that one.
Okay, that's nice to know. Thank you for letting me know that information.
You're welcome.
My third question is, what does a normal day at your organization look like?
I'll let
So
you
our days
answer that.
actually might look so our days actually might look a little different because Jason is the program director and I'm the case manager. So for me, a regular day may be in the morning. I am doing a lot of like admin things. I take care of the folders for our kids, well, for the after school kids and ACF kids. I make sure I put them in a program we call NCLIs. I do notes on them, kind of just updating. Sometimes we have to call parents as well to check on our youth to see how they're doing. Another thing we may do in the morning time, or maybe from like 8:30 to 2, maybe something like that, is we do intake processes. Basically, so when we have a child come in and their family come in, well, usually the child and parent, they come in and we kind of just get them into our program. And then in the afternoon, typically is when we have our kids come in. So we go pick them up from school and they either do community service or after school, and then we take them home. And then Jason, I don't know if you want me to speak for you or not, but it's kind of the same thing. Jason handles a lot more sometimes than what I do. And then on top of what I do as well.
But we balance off each other very well. But I know the only thing that maybe differentiate with me, I handle all the financial things for 4-H Youth Promise. So if we have any type of bills, or basically if we owe anybody any money, I'm the one who completes the invoices through our county program called Edmonds, and that's how we pay our bills. So yeah, I handle all the financial stuff like that.
Okay, nice to know. My fourth question is, what are your hours of operation?
We are open from 8:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Nice to know. Why did you get involved with nonprofit work?
Well, I know for me, originally, I just wanted to work with youth. I didn't know that my job was a nonprofit in the beginning, but originally I wanted to give back to the community and help youth, and that's what made me apply for my position. And I've been there 3 years, and I love it.
Mine is actually kind of similar to Mrs. Tracy. I actually was looking for something different as well, and I was working with traditional 4-H at one point, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was to the point I did not want to leave. I was like, I love being here. I love just being around the staff and the kids and getting to know more about 4-H within itself. And then after doing some research and understanding what Cooperative Extension was, what 4-H was, and doing some research on 4-H Promise, they had a job available as well. So I applied and got the job, which was one of the best days of my life. So, and piggybacking off what Jason said, just learning more about the kids and wanting to give back to the community. It was like a win-win.
Okay, thank you. What is your favorite? What is your favorite? What is your part? What is your favorite part of your work?
For me, it's working with the youth. Being able to see them grow from the time they come into our programs to the time they leave. Hearing all their dreams and things they want to accomplish in their lives. And seeing kids accomplish some of those goals. So for me, that's the best part. Just being able to work with the kids every day.
I would say the best part for me of work is actually, it's definitely being with the kids, and when they open up and try to talk to us and we get to understand them a little bit more, seeing them develop a relationship with us, this is truly amazing, because a lot of people think we can have the bad kids or we have the kids that society really don't want to deal with, when these are some of the brightest kids I've ever met. So being with them and talking with them, spending time is definitely one of my favorite parts.
Nice to know. As a youth, what can I do to help or support your organization?
Well, one, don't get in trouble. But no. But no. Just continue to be a positive role model to your peers. I feel as though kids usually typically listen to other kids before they listen to adults. So just keep being positive with your peers. Don't be afraid to correct your peers when you see them doing something wrong. I feel as though if we continue to have people do that, our numbers will get less and less through the years. We don't want to see a lot of kids in our program. That's not a good thing. I mean, so for us just spread positivity and just be a positive peer.
Yep, I totally agree.
Thank you so much. And my last question is, how long has your organization been around?
Ooh, I know it's been 10 plus years, I believe. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's 10 plus.
I might can help you all out.
Yeah.
I was a program director right before Jason. I think it's 15 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's 15 years. So yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
David, you did a great job, man. Good job. And just to kind of echo what Jason and Raven, thank y'all for, as you promised. These are my staff. Really enjoy working with them. They make me look good. This has been they've been humping down here. Like the numbers have been really high, but they hold it down. And like I said, they getting it done. So I couldn't ask for a better staff out of these two. I mean, David, great job, man. I think this is David's first time being on the leadership forum and co-hosting. So great job. And to kind of echo their point about being leaders, yes, this is a leadership opportunity, and the more leaders that we can build and create, that's impact, right? And so you can help redirect some of your peers. Sometimes your peers, people your own age, will listen to you before they listen to an adult. So keep up the good work and just keep on, like they said, keep being positive and going down that path. All right, let's keep it moving, and let's see if we can do Jazaria. Can we do can we do the Caraway Foundation with Jazaria? Let's see if we can ping you all right quick. All right. Jazaria, are you ready?
Yes, yes. Hi, Miss Caraway.
The floor is yours. All right, just so the reason why they cheesing like this, right? So Miss Caraway runs the Caraway Foundation, and they have her Leadership Academy, and Jazaria is one of her leadership students. So this is really nice for her to get to interview Miss Caraway. So the floor is yours.
Hey, Miss Caraway, and I got a couple questions to ask you about the Caraway Foundation. I want to ask you, basically, what like made you get into it and started it?
Well, I would tell you, I hope you can hear me okay, because we're setting up. Okay, great. I got into the Caraway Foundation because God told me to. My story is that I went to the grocery store one night to get milk, eggs, and cheese. And while I was in there, I went down one aisle. And on that aisle, there were a bunch of backpacks, lunch boxes, you name it, but a lot of school supplies. And I said to myself, whoa, Lord, they got a bunch of school supplies. You know, grocery stores, just not like grocery stores like they used to be. Like you could buy everything. I'm having that conversation with myself. And a voice said to me, buy all the backpacks. And I was just like, first of all, who is talking? Who is in my head? And why am I buying backpacks? I do not have not one child. So I got to the end of the aisle, made a left to go get my milk, eggs, and cheese, came back towards the same aisle. And there at the end of the aisle, now there's a shopping cart. Now I'm like, okay, there's this shopping cart. I go back up the same aisle. And I say to myself, wow, those backpacks are on sale, like 75% off. The voice says to me again, buy all the backpacks. And then I was like, oh, that would be $3. Oh my God, these are nice. It comes with this. So next thing you know, I should say $164.38 to be exact. I have purchased all the backpacks, lunch boxes, you name it, just literally wiped the shelf off. Went home and wrote out what the Caraway Foundation was going to do. I then began providing seminars on how to prepare for college. So what I did was every person that came to the seminar, I gave them a backpack. I gave them a lunchbox. I did that. So that's what jump-started the Caraway Foundation. I only wanted milk, eggs, and cheese, but the Lord wanted me to buy backpacks and start the Caraway Foundation.
Okay. What does it bring the community? Like, what does your service bring to the community?
I think that, and I feel that the Caraway Foundation brings several things: a sense of pride, a sense of togetherness and unity. And I think it brings opportunities and experiences and opportunities for the youth. And I think unity for the community to come together when we give out produce boxes and things like that to serve the entire community. And I think it inspires others to want to volunteer and do things and join us in doing those things. So at least that's what I think, and that's what I hope it does. That's what it does to others. Or it could just be me having wishful thinking. I don't know. Is that what it makes you feel?
Yes, ma'am. Like, how long have you been doing this? Like,
yeah, I think honestly, Jazaria, I think I've been doing this all my life because I grew up in a family that gives. My grandmother made pies for the community, and I used to have to walk the pies around town or the cakes around town. Raven, I see you laughing. I think that you may understand what I'm talking about. But I think that I've been doing this all my life. So legally, I have been doing this since 2007, but I would say all my life I've been in hospitality. I've been in customer service for a very long time.
what can a person do to join your program? Like, what do they need to have?
What they need to do? So the youth, you know about the Anson Youth Leaders Academy?
Yes, ma'am.
The Youth Leaders Academy serves 7th and 8th graders. It's a program that works tirelessly, I think, to provide opportunities to 7th and 8th graders. So what you have to do is either be a rising 7th or 8th grader. You have to have a certain GPA. So we at least want you to have an A, B, or C average. You have to have great recommendations. You have to go through an interview. And the interview is not done by me, is done by members of the community. Is also the person is interviewed by an alum or a graduate that's been part of the program. So you have to go through a few steps before you are actually approved to be in it. Now the program, I mean, we go around the county because I want you to understand what's as I say, in your backyard. I want you to know what's in Anson County. And that program provides that opportunity for students to have an opportunity to see who their leaders are and who they need to voice their opinions to. But it also provides an opportunity for them to go outside of the county to experience a professional basketball game, or hopefully one day experience an actual professional football game, soccer game, baseball, NASCAR, you name it. We want to expose these students to every opportunity that's nearby and give them the opportunity to think about, you know what, I can do that. I can work in the NBA, even though I may not be a basketball player, but I can work in the operations. I can do all the things that it takes to run an NBA franchise or whatever. I just want to make sure that kids have the opportunity to do anything they desire to do, even if they want to be a rodeo bull rider, horse rider, have a farm, or any of those things. I want them and I support them in those efforts.
Yes, ma'am. I think it was one more. What makes your organization so like what makes it not a nonprofit? Like, what makes you just do it because you want to? You know,
Yeah, so it's a nonprofit because the government, based off of the government's qualifications, we are considered a nonprofit, and it allows us the opportunity to ask for donations and grants because of that status. It also runs because, yes, I am in love with Anson County. I knew one day I would come back. I didn't know it was going to be this soon, so I guess I should thank COVID for that. But I wanted to do something more. I have had a great run in my life and have seen many things. And I have the heart to want that for all of you. And so I think the organization runs because my heart is still beating. And because I love it. I love seeing the smiles on your faces. I love seeing your kids change. I love to see the light bulb come on and they like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go down that path versus the bad boy path or the bad girl path. So it runs because I'm in love with what I'm doing. Yeah.
well, I think that's all the questions I have for you, Miss Candy. And I like being in your organization because I love you and you love me and you help me see the light in things. And thanks.
You are more than welcome. Thank you for interviewing me. That's an honor. I appreciate that.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Desaria and Miss Caraway, for that lively interview. As you can tell, her youth, they really love her. Any of those kids in her organization, they just love Miss Caraway. So we appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. Miss Caraway, we're working on some stuff together. Like I said, like she mentioned, she has her leadership program with the 7 to 8 graders. And so I had to somehow just figure out how we could work together. So looking forward to kind of making some things shaking around here in Anson County with her. But
Yes.
thank y'all again.
Thank you, Sam. And Sam, I'm gonna have to jump off. I'm trying to. We were able to get some furniture for the center, and so and that's why I was late getting on. I apologize, but I need to unload the truck and get it back to U-Haul by 9:00. But.
And I got your announcement. We'll make your announcement about the ribbon cutting and the open house this weekend. So go do your thing.
Stay on, Jazari. Just because I'm jumping off doesn't mean you can too. All right. Talk to you.
Take care. All right. Good job. Good job. All right. So next up, we have Miss Cynthia Wallace representing the new rural project, and we have let's see, we have Andrew Martin. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. So Andrew, you're gonna wrap it up for us, and like I said, we have Miss Cynthia Wallace. We'll talk a little bit more about her after the interview. The floor is yours. Well, let me spotlight you real quick. All right. All right. The floor is yours, Andrew.
My name is Andrew, and my first question to you is, what does your organization do for Anson County?
Well, thank you so much, Andrew. And thank you so much to Sam for inviting me to be a part of this program. I was inspired by hearing Ms. Caraway as well. So I'm excited to be here. My organization, along with Helen Probst Mills, we co-founded our organization last year around April 2021, officially, just like Angela said. And we organized it to focus on listening to the voices of historically marginalized folks, and those particular under 40 in Union, Anson, Richmond, Scotland, Robinson, Hoke, and Moore. And really to understand the barriers that they've had to civic engagement. We had a lot of folks of color, African American, Hispanic, under 40 who didn't turn out to vote in 2020. And so we started this organization to understand what those barriers were that stopped them from voting in that presidential election. And then based on our listening to them, we are working to with other stakeholders to reduce those barriers and increase the civic engagement of those kind of folks.
Thank you. My second question is, what types of services do you provide?
So in Anson, so just in general though, since May of 2021, we've supported 9 vaccine and community events in Union, Robinson, Anson, and Scotland County. And in Anson County, we partner with groups like the Holla Center that I'm sure many of you know. Also sororities like Alpha Pi Chi, Las Amigas, NAUW, and the Anson Partnership for Children to host vaccine events. And so what we have done in Morven County at the Holla Center in Morven, we had a vaccine event in November of last year where we were able to vaccinate almost 90 people, which is an amazing number given that Morven is actually a town of 500. So almost 10% of the population came through our vaccination event the end of last year. But we didn't only do vaccinations. We also worked with amazing partners like Triad Barber School, where we offered free haircuts for anyone who showed up. We also partnered with the Anson Partnership for Children. We also had some medical partners that did medical tests. They also provided sweet potato pies because we were only a few days before Thanksgiving. And then also before we do those vaccine events, what we offer to the community is actually a knock on the door and a friendly face on the other side. And so what we did a week before we did that vaccine event, right before Thanksgiving, was we knocked on doors with volunteers from the Anson and Morven community to let folks know about that upcoming community vaccine event that was happening. And this year we started knocking on doors and canvassing to talk to folks who didn't get a chance to vote in 2020, because this is now 2022. And we've got Senate races, county commission races, and a lot of important elections on the ballot this year. And so we're starting to get out into the community and let folks know about that, but more importantly, understand and listen to them and see what we can do to help.
Thank you for the answer. My third question is, what does a normal day at your organization look like?
Oh, a normal day. I don't know if there is such a thing as a normal day, but I will say, for me, I start the day with, I'm the executive director of the New Rural Project, and I'm the co-founder. And so I start every day sending my team a good morning text, as well as a GIF for whatever day it is. Mondays we know can be tough, so I might send something focused on Monday. And then, I start looking at my to-do list. I start saying, what do I need to accomplish today? And then I look at, any emails that I might have received the previous day, or based on what's happening on, this upcoming day, or what happened the night before. And then today is Monday, so we actually have a team check-in. So we start meeting together and talking about what's on tap for the week to make sure that we're going to have a great tone and we're very productive. And so also this week, I'm a nonprofit. So I'm not sure how much you all have talked about nonprofits before I joined, but nonprofits always have a board. These are the folks that really, are basically the folks that run your organization and set the vision for your organization. So on this coming Thursday, I have a board meeting. And so as the executive director, I've got to present to the board what we're doing, what's happened since our last meeting. And so I've done some work, preparing for that. And then on Wednesday, I'm presenting to a national group of rural policy thinkers. And so I will be presenting. So I've been working on a presentation where I'm going to be sharing with them some surveys and some focus group work that we've done as an organization. So every day can be a little bit different, but we do spend a lot of time kind of sitting behind the computer doing the prep work before we actually go out into the community.
Thank you for answering. My fourth question is, what are your hours of operation?
So I would say they're 9 a.m. until the work gets done. So typically that may be 6 p.m., but we do have evening events sometimes, and even on the weekends. Last Saturday, I was with, Sam, who's, formulating this event and being a great host. We were together from 4 to about 6 o'clock working.
My fifth question is, why did you get involved with nonprofit work?
So that's a kind of interesting story. So I went to Spelman College, which is a historically Black college and university, and I received a bachelor's degree in math. So I was kind of a math person. And then I also went on to get my master's in statistics. So after all of that education, I spent a lot of years in finance and basically working for a company that's kind of like a bank. But in 2020, I ran for office. I actually ran for Congress to serve people. And so to not kind of work for a business, but to actually, see what I can do to help change people's lives. And though I didn't win, I wasn't quite successful. I was really, called by that job to serve. And so with that service, I, kind of continued to think about what I could do, even if I wasn't an elected official, to actually serve people. And so that desire for service was so strong that I actually didn't return to my job in finance. And I ended up starting this organization. And one of the things I always say is, while, you might have one particular goal in mind, and that actually might not work out the way you were expecting, but it will always lead you to something else different. And so from that, this life of service has started. And I worked with Helen Probst Mills, who also ran for office and wasn't quite successful. But the two of us weren't running for office because of a position or a title. We were running for office to serve people. And we found another way to do it with the New Rural Project.
Thank you for answering. My seventh question, my sixth question is, what is your favorite part of your work?
So, as I talked about when we talked about a typical day, I talked about working on presentations. I talked about looking at to-do lists. I talked about, checking in with my team. Well, I spent a lot of time behind the computer every day, preparing to do the work out in the community. So my favorite part is actually interacting with people and not sitting behind the computer like we're doing today. We started a program this past Saturday for 18 to 40-year-old Black men at the Triad Barber School right there in Wadesboro. And your very own Sam was one of our facilitators. And those are the reasons and the things that I really enjoy doing, getting out to the community. And one of the things as I think about this past Saturday, at the end of the event, one of our participants, completed his voter registration form. And that really just kind of gives you kind of the drive and the energy that explains why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm in this particular work. So being with folks, not sitting behind this computer doing things like this, but actually engaging with folks in the community is what is my most favorite part.
Thank you for the answer. My seventh question is, as a youth, what can I do to help or support your organization?
So today, our organization is really kind of more focused on what we can do to help youth. When we had our event in Morven, we, like I said, had the Anson Partnership for Children. We also gave out books. We did a lot of different things to support children. But they definitely can attend our events. I'm going to drop a link in the chat room. And I don't know, Sam, if you have a way to get that out broader. But this Wednesday, we are having an event. It's focused on 18 to 40-year-old elected officials. So young people who are already currently serving in office. And it will be a Zoom, but also there'll be an opportunity to watch it on Facebook Live. So I'll drop that link so folks can join and learn a little bit more and maybe get inspired by why some folks who are just a little bit older than you get inspired by what they're working on.
Thank you. And my final question is, if you can answer it, how long has your organization been around?
So we are just under 1 year old. We will officially turn one on next Wednesday, April 6th. And so we're excited about what the work we've been doing. Anson literally is part of the reason why we started this 7-county organization, because we know there's so much potential there. There's so much opportunity, and folks just need some, folks like our organization, the Caraway Foundation, and some of the other groups that you've spoken to just jump in and see what we can do to help and see what we can do together to improve the lives of everyone in Anson County.
Thank you for answering all of my questions.
Well, thank you so much for being such a great interviewer. I am so appreciative of being here, and look forward to being with you guys again at some other point.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Ms. Wallace, for that interview. Kind of like Ms. Wallace mentioned, we had a chance to work together this weekend, and that's what it's all about, just having conversations and learning. Because the more you know, the better decisions you can make. And who knows, maybe one of y'all grow up to run a nonprofit or be a commissioner or a county manager or run for Congress or even president. Who knows? The goal is just to expose you all to as much as possible, because you all can do anything that you set your mind to. It's just a matter of taking that lid off. So thank you again to all of our nonprofit organizations and our youth hosts. Just a quick Zoom round of applause for you all stepping up into those positions again. Being a leader at your age is not the easiest thing to do, so we always want to recognize you for taking that step. All right, well, that just about wraps it up. We can go through our announcements and recognition before we wrap it up. But again, just the final word. Again, I want to thank all of our presenters, our youth co-hosts, and our nonprofits for taking their time out to speak with us this evening. I think the general consensus, right? So we kind of we had a prep meeting last Wednesday to kind of give the youth background information on what nonprofits were. And I think the general consensus that they kind of developed was that nonprofits are good and they are worth our support. And so hopefully we can maybe get a community service project out of this, or just some way to just take action when it comes to supporting our nonprofits, because they need the support for all the good things that they do in our community. All right, so upcoming announcements and events. All right, so Anson County 4-H, we are wrapping up our fundraising campaign. March 31st is going to be the last day, so we have an auction. And so if you have, we're on Facebook. If you want to get that link to get to the website, I can get that to you. But that ends this Friday. Thursday is the last day of the month, and so get your bids in. We have some great items for you to check out. So again, get your bids in, and we want to thank everybody in advance for just your support. We had a goal of reaching $10,000, and I think we are just short of it. So I'm confident that we'll blow through it. And while I'm looking at it, I see Miss Cynthia has posted the link for the meeting coming up on Wednesday. So if you can make that, please join that. We'll add that to the announcements that we send out. This Friday, April the 1st, the Caraway business, they're having their grand opening. The ribbon cutting will be Friday, April 1st at 3 p.m. And then the open house will be that Saturday, April the 2nd at 5 p.m. And again, this is down in Ansonville. So there's that address if anyone is interested in making that. On the Hollis Center, they are getting ready for their 5K. Our Little Flowers 5K. That's going to be on Saturday, May the 14th at 8 a.m. And I think it's at the Hollis Center, which is 229 East Main Street, Morva, North Carolina. And Miss Devin is not on tonight, but just stay tuned for details around that event. And then the Hampton B Library on June 15th at 4 p.m. The Hampton B Allen Library will be hosting a live event with the Ripley's Aquarium at Myrtle Beach. This should be a fun event. I usually like to take my daughter whenever we go down to the Myrtle Beach. So if you can join the library, I think it'll be on Facebook Live. So just stay tuned for that on June the 15th. And just to kind of circle back to Miss Cynthia's announcement. So this is going to be a young person's conversation with under 40 elected officials. That is an extremely, what's the word? That's going to be a good conversation to sit on, because most of our elected officials are just a little bit older. And so with a younger age group, a little closer to y'all's age, it may be interesting, and it may be worthwhile to sit in and kind of hear some of their thoughts and just some of their plans, because again, y'all are growing up. So y'all could be our next commissioners and elected officials. So please join if you were able to make that. And just wanted to say thank you to all of those who helped, who worked with me to put this together. Miss Alicia Martin, Kristen Wing with WellCare, Mr. Gerald Cannon representing Hampton B. Allen Library, Miss Caraway, even though she was interviewed today, and myself. And well, this was meant to be contact information. So again, contact information, but also thank you to everyone who helps to put this program together. And that is all. This was a great event. I hope that we took some notes and we're able to learn something about nonprofits and just all of the great things they do for our community. And we will continue to just kind of recognize them and support them as we can. So I want to thank, I see, I'll run through. Can we do a picture before we go? Anybody who's willing, I don't want to say you have to, but if you're willing to just turn on your camera real quick, and we're going to take a nice screenshot with everybody smiling. If y'all don't mind. You don't have to, but if you want to, we'll turn on your screen. There we go. We got about half of us. All right. Dennis, where you at, man? You was the first face I saw. All right. So we're going to go at 1, All right, there go Millie. All right, one. We're gonna take two. 1, 2, 3. All right, one more. One. Smile, David. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you all so much again for for joining us on tonight. Again, this was a very insightful event. We had a variety of different nonprofits, and I think that should give us a lot of ammunition to kind of think about things that you may want to do as a profession as you grow older. So hopefully y'all learned something tonight. I know y'all did. Y'all are my young leaders that are going to take over the world one day. So that's all I have for y'all tonight. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. You all take care, and we will see you all next time. Have a good one.